Well, let's talk about mortgage rates, everybody. That's way more exciting, right? They are now the highest that they've been since 2002. And today, the average long-term mortgage rates jumped above 7%. This as the Federal Reserve continues its interest rate hike in order to fight inflation.
Now, according to Freddie Mac's latest report, the key 30-year rate increased to 7.8% today from 6.94% last week. At this time last year, Bets, these 30-year mortgage rates that we're talking about now, over 7%, were barely over 3%. So far, the feds have raised interest rates 5 times this year. They're expected to make another hike next week and yet another hike in December. Now, why are they making all these hikes? Well, they want to control inflation. And I know it seems like we're getting hit with one negative headline after another when it comes to the economy. However, late this afternoon, just before we came out here, we got some good news on the economy, and I can't wait to share it. This quarter, the third quarter of 2022, for the first time this year, showed positive growth.
Yes.
So remember, the first two quarters, the economy actually contracted. This quarter, from July to September, those numbers are in. It grew at a rate of 2.6%. So that's pretty healthy. Overall, though, most economists still agree we're in a dark economic time, and there's a ton of uncertainty moving forward. And I mentioned the Fed will raise rates again next week and again in December.
Well, I think it's always interesting because we're presenting everybody the banking side and the financial side.
Right.
So it's all about the Federal Reserve and the experts and the economists.
Sure.
Meanwhile, those of us who are bottom dwellers and, trying to figure out, where do I save my money? How do I spend my money?
Right.
We're the ones who are in the darkest of times because we're in the dark. We don't know where things are going, and we have direct impacts from it.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to kind of take all of these big, inflationary numbers and all this stuff and boil it down to, I still don't even know the recession. Are we in a recession? Are we not in a recession?
Right.
They're saying we aren't, but it sure feels like we are.
Yeah, it does to most Americans.
And so that's the thing. I think there's a huge disconnect with what the economists are saying and what the people are actually feeling.
Absolutely true.